I'm Katie Price, and I wanted to put this video together for you because I got a little bit excited this afternoon because I just received through my QCS test markers pack. Now, what I've decided to do is put together a bit of a video diary for you, because as soon as I opened it up and started reading through it, I remembered how much useful and amazing stuff there is in there that's, I think, really going to help you, whether you're a parent helping your teenager or whether you're a student watching this. Particularly if you're a student watching this, I think you're going to like it. Now, the QCS test is a test that Year 12 students take in Queensland, and it contributes towards their OP being overall position, and that counts towards their entrance into university subjects and university courses. So it's kind of the equivalent of, the OP is kind of the equivalent of an ATAR in New South Wales, if that helps. So what happens is students sit this test. It is a non-subject specific test. So it basically assesses their ability to respond to a stimulus, give different styles of writing, use their problem-solving skills, their numeracy skills, to be able to respond to exam questions. And this is why it is such a good example of an exam for me to share with you, because as I talk about a lot of the time, and if you've come across any of the rest of my resources or my 10-week Great Transformation program, I talk about this so much, about how to give examiners what they're looking for, about how to respond to questions no matter what your subject knowledge, and how as parents you can apply these concepts that I teach you about looking for command words and how to respond to questions, even if you don't know the subject that your child is studying. So this is why I wanted to put together this video diary for you. This is the first video in the series. So today I got my information pack through. I already knew that I'd been accepted to be a marker, but today I actually got some of the resources. So I've got my information sheet, which just tells me about where I need to be, at what times, on what days. On the back, it also invites me to select my preferences of what section of the paper I would like to mark. So that's pretty exciting. I'm going to come to that later. What I need to bring, what I need to do in advance of turning up to the marker training and the marking sessions. I've also got a copy of the test paper. So this is the short response paper. There is a extended response, a long written response paper, a multiple choice paper, and a short response paper. This is the one that I'm marking. I have marked this test now for 2 years. And like I said, I found it to be an invaluable experience as a teacher, as a tutor, as a study coach. It's just an excellent way to show how students can respond to questions that are not anything to do with a particular subject, but they can still get great marks. And then finally in my pack today, I also got my marker manual. And I wanted to share this with you. This is what really made me think I'm going to start this video diary, because I just want to show you just how much goes into this, folks. I don't want you to realise how much goes into marking your papers, how much training exam markers do, how much goes into the organisation of it all, and how rigorous that marking is, so that you know that your papers are getting marked really, really carefully, but also what you could learn from that. So first of all, I marked off a couple of pages. This is a little bit about marker training, so you can see how much goes into all this. First of all, we have a training session that actually happens on the Saturday. Starts first thing in the morning, so 8 o'clock we start our training, goes through all day, and at the end of that day we then do our preliminary marking. Preliminary marking is where we get some real responses from that year, and we start to mark through them, but we can then go back and discuss them. We can go through any difficult kind of decisions that have to be made about certain responses, go through any procedures in terms of checking against the mark scheme, etc, etc. And again, if you're familiar with my things, mark schemes are a gold mine of information. You should be using them. You should be getting past papers, example mark schemes to help you with any assessment that you do. Again, I have a whole module on this in my 10-week program because I love it so much. So I'm looking forward to getting that. This is not the mark scheme, by the way. This is just our manual. We don't get the mark scheme until we turn up to that training session. And then feedback sessions. So after doing that marking, we go in again on the Sunday, and they have then all our assessors and supervisors and immersers and trainers have gone through all our responses, and they give us feedback on where we bang on the money, where we are drifting off a little bit, where we're being too easy, too harsh on that marking. And then, once we've done some check marking, we go through and do some more, and they check that our marking is good enough and that we can then be a marker. If we don't attend all of those training and feedback sessions, we cannot be a marker for a start. And we have to be able to prove that we can get our marks close enough to the exact real answers that we need to be giving to be able to be a quality marker. The other bit that I kind of wanted to show you is this part, the quality assurance. So you can see just how much your papers go through in terms of marking. So we've got quality assurance. It starts off with obviously selecting good quality markers, people that have got teaching experience, assessment experience, exam experience, then the training, support and communication, the random and anonymous distribution of student responses, so that we have no idea what school, what part of the state, or what student we're marking. It's absolutely random. It's all just done in code and numbers and barcodes and things. And then marker monitoring. So first of all, we have to go through marker agreements. That means that every single paper is marked 3 times, 2 or 3 times, at least twice, 3 or more times usually, to check that each marker is giving the same mark. I think it's 3 times, I'm pretty sure it is. I'll be able to tell you in a few weeks when I start. That's the whole point of this video diary. Then check marking, so then it's gone back and people's marks are taken out and people go through and check them, the senior markers go through and check them. And then we also have these sessions called refocusing sessions, and pretty much all markers have one of these at some point. It's where you might be picked up for starting to drift off a little bit, where you start to be a little bit lenient and a little bit nice on some of your marking, and then other areas where maybe you get a little bit too strict and a bit too harsh and you should be giving an extra mark. Because when you're marking hundreds and hundreds, and that is what we're marking, that can happen sometimes, but there are procedures in there to stop that happening. So you have what is called a refocusing session, where you sit down with a team leader or a supervisor and they take you through and show you where you've started to go off track and how to get things back on track and what specific points you need to look for. So that's called refocusing. Then there's what happens if any discrepancies come up, the fact that they're remarked, referee marking. It's amazing, guys. There's just so much information in here. Like I said, we haven't even got the mark scheme yet. So I basically wanted to show you some of the stuff that goes into that and some of the things that we do in preparation for our marking. What I need to do now this evening is go through the test paper. I'm going to go through and have a look at each of the sections, what each of the questions were, and I get to put in my preferences of what section I would like to mark. Last year, I did a numeracy part, a maths question. So I think this year, well, I'm pretty sure this year, that I'm going to look for a written piece, a written task, because I think that will give me the biggest variety of exam training and marker training for me to be able to pass on to you guys. So I'll see you very soon. I'm going to go and have a look at this now, and I'll see you in my next video and let you know what I decided.